Hello, beautiful souls. Happy holidays. It has been such a beautiful holiday in our home. We spend Christmas really celebrating relationships and family, and we've had a lovely, lovely Christmas season. Thank you so much for all of your warm wishes from all of you. I wanted to give you guys something for New Year's. It's a very exciting year. We're not just celebrating the change of a year, we are celebrating the change of a decade. I want you to think about what has happened over this last decade. What growth have you experienced? What changes have you experienced? What greatness have you experienced or not? And then I want you to think about over the next year, 5 years, 10 years, what do you want to see show up in your life? It's so exciting. It's so exciting. This is the precipice of massive opportunity. What do you want to see over these next few years? I know that when I look back over my last 10 years, there's been massive change. And when I look back even over the last year, there's been massive change. And for me, it's just a given. It's who I am. So that said, I want you to think about where you're at, what you want to see, who you want to be, and who you want to become, how you want things in your life, the relationships you want to have. I want you to think on these things and write it down. Now, I'm going to offer you guys clarity for a smoking deal. Reason being is because it's a goal setting, intention setting course. Now, for most of you, you've been following Fear It Goes for a while, so you know what's going on. But it's very interesting because when we look at setting intentions and goals and all these juicy, yummy, coming up with these beautiful, big, fat dreams that we want to actually attain in our life, we know that there's things that will stop us. So willpower only gets us so far, and about 93% of people can't use willpower through to the end. And then what happens with that? So not fun. So not fun. Because what happens when willpower fails is it's kind of like an elastic band. You go, I can do this, and then it pulls you right back. But the problem with that pullback is it sets you back also from a mental state. I can't do this. Why'd I even try? I'm such a failure. There's shame and guilt wrapped around that. And then your dreams go down the toilet. No one wants that. And this is a new decade. New decade. So I want to give you the gift of clarity. I want to give you the gift of working with your mind and getting it to work with you and setting up some real plans that move things into action, move you into action, set things in motion as an offensive life instead of defensive and reactive. Because reactive just means all we're doing is just accepting everything for coming in and not really doing much with it and believing that we don't have a lot of control over this. And it's not so much control, it's a matter of whether or not we set things in motion, whether or not we plan and set up the supplemental goals and the supplemental actions that will actually get us into what we want. I want you to have the most spectacular year and decade that you can imagine. And this is it. This is it. It's funny because lots of people talk about laws of attraction and lots of people talk about The Secret. And I think that there's a whole bunch of elements that are a little bit missing. I do believe that we draw things to us when we're aligned with it. And that all starts here. So clarity is the beginning of getting all this stuff in action. So It really is setting the intentions and then setting yourself up to actually achieve those goals. This course normally goes for 497 US. I'm going to offer it to you for 97 Canadian. I'm not making $1 million, but I want you to have $1 million year. I want you to have massive success. And the only way you're going to do it is to set things in motion and also to set this into action with you instead of against you. Because we know that there is amygdala hijack. We know that. There's a million stories within your own life that will give you example after example of how that worked. All the times you tried to lose weight and it didn't work. Or all the times you wanted to say something and didn't and then felt bad afterwards. Or the times that you wanted to ask for a raise or start a business or create a better relationship and didn't. We have lots of amygdala hijack. We have lots of primitive brain hijack. And I want you to clear that. I don't know. Do you want to clear that? Do you want to have like the most successful year you've had yet? Yes! Say yes, because that's exciting to me. I want to be there in your corner, coaching and guiding you and leading you through on this beautiful journey that is your amazing life. Your absolutely extraordinary life. Be the exception to the rule. Come along this amazing journey for 2020, new decade. And let's set things in motion. 1 year, 5 year, 10 year. What do you want it to look like? Best advice I ever took was from a coach I almost said no to. Actually, I did say no to. So I was in his office and he pitched me on mindset and I was like, yeah. I've heard this before. I know this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Because that was me. Yes, that was me. And he said something just before I left. He said, that's fine. If you want to leave here without doing anything, that's totally up to you. And I'm saying this to you too. If you want to leave here without doing anything, that is totally up to you. But I want you to think, what will life be like if I move on without taking action today? What will life be like if I don't do anything? If it's the same, what will it be like in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? We're in a new decade. What can life be like? So exciting. I hope you come along this journey with me. If not, then I wish you all the best in 2020 as we change years and change decades. Happy, happy New Year, you beautiful soul. Until next week, have an extraordinary week.